and there was the medically cleared comment from Coach Kevin Stefanski afterward. That was back in week 4. They get together yesterday, and I almost wish that football was scored differently than it is, because 14-0 is deceptive. And the Ravens were up like that, 14-0.
Tip pass, interception, pick
six. It's 2-0. It's not 4-0.
Yeah.
It's like if you're soccer, it's 2-0.
It's the psychological thing in the NFL. You got to overcome
14
that.
And so, and it's easy to think it's a blowout, but it just goes away quickly. That Vikings game yesterday, it's 27-3. Well, that's 3 scores, 3 touchdowns and 3 2-pointers. It's not a 24-point gap. It's a 3-point gap as a practical matter. So number of scores is what's key, but I think it's easy for, it happened to the Ravens twice. They're up 14-0, and then the Browns make it interesting, and then they're up 14 again in the fourth quarter. But you can see those leads get erased quickly in the NFL.
Teams teeter in those situations. We've seen
drives.
Teams teeter against the Ravens where we're down 14, and all of a sudden it's 28. We're down 28, and then it's right? But you're right, and there's the psychological aspect of that you got to overcome there. The Browns, I know I've said this to you a little, they give me shades of the 2015 Broncos with their defense. That their defense is going to make like 3 or 4 plays every game that's going to set them up either for really short fields or they're going to score touchdowns themselves. But again, whether it's the Newsome pick 6 at the end, that certainly made things really interesting even though they missed the extra point. A game where it felt like the Ravens should have been up more than 17-9 at half, right? It was one of those. And I thought one of the big moments is late in the first half, it's 17-6, Justin Tucker lining up to kick a field goal. The Browns blocked the field goal. Block the field goal, get a nice little return, sets them up to kick a long field goal before halftime to where it was a 6-point swing. It was going, hey, this is 20-6, and now they're going to have a long field to try to go down and get some points. And now it goes in 17-9 at halftime, gave them to your point, hey, we're only a score out of this. We didn't play that well, right? Ravens come out, hit the slant to Odell Beckham Jr., but at the end of the second quarter, I think we all started to feel like, man, the Browns are starting to slow down the Ravens' attack here a little bit. Ravens come out. He throws a slant to Odell. They score on that first drive of the third quarter, and you go, oh, okay, this is going to continue, this butt-whooping. But from that point on, it felt like the Ravens' defense totally dominated the football game, and that the Ravens, Lamar, the run game, nothing could kind of get back in rhythm like it was early on in the football game, and it felt like the Browns had the momentum pretty much the whole second half.
First win by the Browns when they were down by 14 or more points since Baker Mayfield's debut on a Thursday night against the Jets back in 2018. I remember that one. Tyrod Taylor had the start. Baker Mayfield came off the bench, and that was it for Tyrod Taylor in Cleveland, and Baker Mayfield took over until he didn't. Deshaun Watson still working his way back to the guy that we saw in Houston 2017 through 2020.
Stay healthy. That's what he's got to do. Because we see glimmers.
He was in a walking boot after the game, ankle sprain, but he kept going. Toughed it out, 37 rushing yards, 213 passing yards. He had an interception.
Interception right to start the game.
Yeah, right out of the gates.
That,
that part of that, it's 14-0 less than 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
So they still keep it going. I mean, the resilience is impressive. To go into Baltimore and get that win against Browns 1.0, and Myles Simmons always gets upset with me when I say that the Ravens are the Browns. The Ravens are the Browns. The Browns is the Browns, and the Ravens is the Browns too.
Well,
the Ravens are the original Browns, and the Browns are the new Browns. But I think that makes it even sweeter anytime they can beat them, and especially yesterday, the time when the Ravens are juggernauts. They are the team that is looking like the best team in the conference and or the entire league.
Yeah.
And the Browns went in and spotted them 14 twice and took it from them.
Yeah.
It makes it even more rewarding that the Browns were able to pull it off.
It's a little bit like we talked about, with Houston. Right, Cincinnati had some things the Browns had some things not go their way, but they continue to hang in there and be resilient. That was impressive. The Ravens fourth quarter leads. I mean, this was the thing last year. Remember, this year again. Is it going to be a thing as we go forward? So far, all 3 losses are blown fourth quarter leads. If I'm not wrong there, but we talked about some of the moments there during the game. To me, the drive of the game, third quarter, 24-9, right? Feels like maybe the game's teetering. And they go on a 17-play, 75-yard drive where Deshaun converted third downs. I think they converted a few fourth downs, took up 10 minutes of the clock, and made it 24-17, and felt like they had control of the game. They kick off to the Ravens. The Ravens, they force them to punt. Ravens, I think, get a first down or two, then have to punt. Prochet fumbles the punt return, if you remember. Ravens get the ball short field. It takes 7 plays to go 12 yards. The Browns basically were like holding on every play and had all these penalties. And finally, the Ravens scored a touchdown to go up 2 scores. And you went, oh, well, that's it. But then, like Watson, like you talked about, kind of answers back. He made some plays, extended plays with his legs, made a few wow throws in the game, and all of a sudden it's a 1-score game, tip pass in the air because of that damn talented defense, and all of a sudden it got really awesome at the end. It was a fun game to watch. Big win by the Cleveland Browns. Huge win. Makes you think differently about them right now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. They're 6-3. The Ravens are 7-3. And we talked about MVP earlier as it relates to C.J. Stroud. The 1 seed is so critical to the ultimate MVP balloting if the Browns end up with it, and it's not crazy to think they will. Myles Garrett's the MVP. Myles Garrett's getting my vote.
I'm not mad
from
at you
the
there.
AFC.
I hear you.
NFC, let's see who the 1 seed is. But Myles Garrett's going to be in my top 2 if the Browns are the 1 seed. He joined a very short list of all-time greats yesterday by getting 10 or more sacks for 6 straight seasons. Reggie White, John Randall, DeMarcus Ware, Jared Allen, Bruce Smith, Lawrence Taylor.
Damn.
That's the group.
Yeah. That's
6 straight years
right
of
there.
10 or more sacks. And I had 1.5 yesterday, and, the defense made Lamar Jackson look like not the MVP favorite. Lamar Jackson was my MVP through the first half of the season.
Yeah.
They're sitting very pretty in the AFC. He's orchestrating the offense. He's running not all the time, passing better than ever, 71.5% completion percentage going into the game. And all it takes is one day. Everything changes in one day. For the Browns, for the Ravens, for the Bengals, for the Steelers. And now when you look at the AFC North, going into this week, oh, by the way, it's not just Thursday night football, Bengals-Ravens in Baltimore. It's Steelers-Browns in Cleveland on Sunday.
Wow.
So
that's some killer matchup
huge,
right there.
The weekend before Thanksgiving, huge, because you've got 7-3 Ravens, 6-3 Browns, 6-3 Steelers, 5-4 Bengals. And the Steelers have played 2 games in the division, and they've won both of them.
Yeah.
Ravens, Browns, but they're at home.
Yeah.
It's Renegade time.
Yeah, right.
No Renegade in Cleveland.
Right.
They're not going to be playing Renegade when they go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
So
AFC North
great
is,
weekend.
Yeah.
Great weekend coming up for AFC North football.
Phenomenal.
Perfect time of year for it, too.
It really is. It's real old school football. That's what I love about it. And Cleveland Browns, you look, we've talked and we've gushed about their defense. They got playmakers everywhere. Their defense dominated the second half of the game, like you talked about. Lamar Jackson, I think early on in the football game, the environment in the stadium, the Ravens defense was flying high. I think they caught the Browns with a few game plan plays, especially in the run game, even in the pass game a little bit too. But when it settled in and some of those game plan plays ran out, Cleveland's talent started to take over. And it seemed like, man, they were busting through the line of scrimmage and creating chaos in the run game and the pass game. Lamar and company couldn't get a whole lot going. If the Browns can get the pass game of their offense going, if Watson could stay healthy and get in a little groove here, we know they can run the ball. Bill Callahan's one of the best O-line coaches in football. Their O-line is damn good. Jerome Ford is damn good, right? If they have one of the best screen teams in football and offense, Mike. If Watson can stay, Njoku, Cooper, Elijah Moore, and they're going to be a consistent dose of that, their talent is up there with anybody in the game. It just has to get this pass game going along with the run game, and their offense is going to be equally as hard to defend as their defense is to try to score points on.
You know how I complain from time to time that we have to pick games because I just want to enjoy them?
Yeah, right.
This is a year to enjoy the NFL because
I'm not enjoying them because every time you and me disagree, you win the damn game.
It felt like for a while there were going to be, a few dominant teams.
Yeah.
But boy, it just feels like the old cliche of any given Sunday, any given Monday, any given Thursday, eventually any given Saturday, any given Black Friday, the other team can win. And you don't know what the hell's going to happen. And it's all kind of bunching together now for this great run for the final 8 weeks of the regular season. As we get this, that's, football season, one of the reasons I love it so much, it gets you through 2 of the crappier months of the year in September and October because everything's dying. And I know autumn is great, but to me, I look at a tree with all those great leaves and think that tree's going to be, it's going to be bare in a week. It looks great for today. Yeah. But we get into the colder time. But then comes crunch time and the holidays, and it all comes together, and it carries you through the end of the year, and then
Football
you get the Super Bowl.
With bare breath coming out of the
think
face
about it.
mask.
They've pushed it all back so far now.
Yeah.
We can ride this NFL wave until the middle of February. Before you know it, it's March, and spring's here. I mean, it's just great. Football season is perfectly situated on the calendar.
Yes, it is.
It carries you through the caca months of the season. But we're right now, 10 days till Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas
this is
season.
prime time.
It's just great. And and there's so many great primetime games coming up starting Thursday night with Bengals Ravens. So it's fun. I just want to and is it easier for me to say it's fun because the Vikings have gone from 1-4 to 6-4?
Of course it is.
Yeah. But you know what? It's just I'm just having some fun.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about. Right. Let's have some fun.
The league's crazy. It is. It's so competitive. It's so equal, right? We all want great teams, and I think we do have a few great teams. But even that, we see that, between as aggressive as people are trying to create turnovers, the analytics of going forward on 4th down, you make a mistake, some of the talent we got at quarterback, some of the talent we got at pass rushers, those playmakers that few plays can sway the scales, and all of a sudden we can be, the Jets are beating the Eagles on a given Sunday. That's what's awesome about the league right now, and the AFC is just loaded like we talked about. So I think it's hard to pick them on a week-to-week basis because they are so close, and there's so many good teams or good players in that conference.
You gotta wonder what the Chiefs and Dolphins were thinking yesterday on their bye, monitoring everything that's happening, because the Chiefs are still a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are still, once they prove they can beat a good team, a force to be reckoned with. And then we got the Bills and Broncos still to come tonight. The Bills didn't play yesterday, watching all this stuff happen.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting, too. You get Sean Payton and Russell Wilson bye week, right? We saw their defense was coming along. Buffalo's we don't know what to expect. We'll see where that goes. Buffalo's defense, can Russell Wilson and Sean Payton do something there? I think that game could be somewhat uncomfortable for the Bills tonight.
Well, that's right, and it's an opportunity for the Bills to gain some ground. The Patriots lost, not that they're even a factor in the division anymore. The Jets lost. That's significant for the Bills. That's their next opponent on a short week. So the Bills tonight, opportunity, but also a chance for the Broncos to push themselves, will themselves into a late season push. And they've got that vibe. They've got the positivity. They beat the Chiefs. So they're feeling good about themselves, and they've had 15 days to get ready for this game. So that's coming up tonight. But a great Sunday for the AFC North, for the AFC generally, and we're going to have a fun ride down the rest of the stretch of the regular season. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.